don't know how you would characterize the gang leaders who got 13-year-old kids.
That's Bill Clinton at a rally for his wife. Facing off against Black Lives Matter, he's now under fire for that exchange. It took place on Thursday. The next day, he was forced to apologize, sort of. But the missteps don't end there. Clinton also facing a backlash after he slammed President Obama on, quote, his awful legacy. Is the former president doing more harm than good to his wife's campaign? Here to weigh in, former presidential candidate Governor Mike Huckabee, who knows the Clintons well because he is, of course, also from Arkansas. Governor, it's great to see you this morning. So Bill Clinton seemed like he inadvertently told the truth for a moment, and now he's embarrassed about it. We did have terrible crime in the 90s. There were horrible people who deserved to be in prison. And now he's backing off from that statement?
He shouldn't back off. I mean, it was a true statement. It was kind of one of the most refreshing things that's happened in all of Hillary's campaign, that up until now, Tucker, has been basically a odorless, tasteless, and colorless gas. Well, let me say this, maybe 2 out of 3.
Like carbon monoxide.
Because there has been a little odor to the whole thing. It has been a delightfully horrible campaign, boring and lifeless, because she's so scripted, so robotic. So Bill Clinton comes out, and at a moment of spontaneity that we have not seen in her campaign, actually tells the truth. And I think most of Americans would listen to what he said and say, he's exactly right. But because of political correctness that is running the Democratic Party, and specifically Hillary Clinton, he backs off on it, and I think really ends up undoing all the good that he was probably doing her by showing a little life in the campaign, which he hasn't shown. That's
such an interesting point. You know, he got his dander up when the one thing he really cares about was challenged, which is, of course, his own legacy. He was, in effect, defending himself. Do you think that his presence helps her or hurts her in the context of a Democratic primary?
It's hard to say, because the Democratic Party has been completely hijacked by the far left. And Bill Clinton, whatever sins you want to say about him, he's not a real far leftist. I mean,
no.
He was a pragmatic governor. He was a pragmatic president. And I think that's why, even in all of the personal scandals, he ended up with a relatively popular legacy, because people recognized that at the end of the day for Bill Clinton, it was about getting things accomplished, moving the ball forward. He was willing to work with Republicans. What we're seeing now is a far left that says, you know, we want to tax people 90%. We want to raise the minimum wage and kill all those jobs that would have been there. I mean, it's an irrational kind of political approach. It makes the yippies and hippies of the 60s look like posers.
That's totally right.
Just based on, I mean, and as a result of that, Hillary is trying to be who she really is, which is an ideological leftist, but still has a little common sense and understands how to govern. And yet she's trying to do it in the context of a party that is off the rails.
So she's trying to out-Bolshevik Bernie Sanders. Really quickly, I mean, it must kill former President Clinton to see his legacy in the Democratic Party just go up in smoke. Like, it's not the party he presided over.
No, it is not the party he presided over. I mean, we used to say the Democratic Party is not your grandfather's Democratic Party. It certainly is not. It's not even, you know, your older brother's Democratic Party. I mean, it really has changed that radically, that quickly. And that's why when all these people are, you know, wringing their hands about the Republican possibilities in November, I think they're just, they need to chill. Because
I totally agree.
Compared,
unfortunately, Governor, we're out of time. Well, thank you for joining us. Great to see you.
Okay, good to talk to you, Tucker.